My name is Susanna Martinez.
Where are you from?
I am from Albuquerque, New Mexico.
What communities or communities do you consider yourself a part of?
I definitely think I'm a part of the Hispanic community here in New Mexico. I also think I'm part of an athletic community at the pool that I work at, which is its own two separate communities. So I work there and I also practice there. And other communities would be church, so religious, and baseball, just other sports.
Kind of building on the occupational community, how would you say that the dialect is different from all of the other communities?
You said for occupational?
Yes.
The language at work is definitely a bit more professional than a standard setting just because I'm employed there. And I'm a lifeguard, so sometimes we use a bit more medical terms, not super fancy, but definitely more so than you would hear in an average day.
Perfect. What do you feel are some stereotypes you've seen or you know of in your different communities?
Well, definitely for the Hispanic community, a lot of times when I travel out of state, I get told that I have an accent, or they ask if I'm from Mexico. Just a lot of things that I don't think people realize just because we get so involved in our own communities. But other things would just be like normal stereotypes. So like for sports, you'd think more like jockey, kind of stupid type forms of communication. But also being a teenager, I think that the vocabulary for teenagers is a bit more limited than most, just as we've had less experience living and acting in professional communities.
Are you proud of your communities?
I would say yes. I think I'm very proud of being Hispanic and an athlete. Sometimes it's a little iffy, but most of the time I would say yes, proud of where I come from.
Why would you say it's iffy?
I think iffy just because sometimes things happen and that's just with life, but things don't always go the way we want them to in certain communities or just certain areas in life. So, yeah.
That's understandable. If you had the opportunity to change anything about any of your communities, would you?
I definitely think there's a little bit of, how do you say it? Like, not stereotyping, but a little bit of, I keep going. Okay. A little bit of, like distancing in each community. I think inclusivity would be a big part that could be played in all the communities that I'm involved in.
So this last question is kind of random, as it should have probably been in the beginning, but were you born into any of your communities or did you join them?
The Hispanic community I was definitely born into, and I honestly would say sports communities I was also born into. I have a lot of older siblings who all played sports, and my dad was a coach for all the sports that they did, so I would say that one I was definitely born into. But other communities like where I'm employed or just the friend groups I have, I definitely chose, and again, I'm proud of those communities.
Choosing, would you say that it was not necessarily that you were born into it, but that it was fate, or it was kind of you made the conscious decision to join them?
I think a little bit of both, just because I decided to work at a place where I already existed for quite a while, and the majority of my friends now are both where I work and on the same swim team as me. So I think fate has a little bit to do with that. but I definitely made a conscious choice of working where I practice as well.
Thank you. That was all my questions.